We're here with Will Perry. This is Bennett Davison interviewing Will Perry on EuroHooplife. He's going to be talking about his first year coming out of college in Zamora, Spain. Will, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I heard you're over in Luxembourg, trapped over there because of the corona.
Yeah, man. I'm trapped, quarantined in Luxembourg. Some guys got back in time, but I kind of got stuck, so.
Hey, it happens. Yeah, I got stranded. I was coming back from Christmas one year, and I got stranded in the airport for 2 days. So, and we only get about 3 or 4 days to come back, so that was kind of a headache. But let's talk about Zamora. I just want to kind of give me a little quick background of where you were at in life, and it was about, you said 3 years ago, and it was your first contract coming out of college. Give me a little background on that.
Yeah, I left college. I left a Division II school in 2016, and was lucky enough to get a good agent, Spanish agent. And my agent got me my first job in Zamora in the Spanish division, and it was a good experience overall, man. As you know, there's ups and downs.
Yep. The Euro, it may be glamorous to think that you're playing basketball, but at the same time, you've got to show up to practice. And one of my brothers came over to see what I was doing over in Naples, Italy. He says, "Dude, you bust your butt over here." He's like, "What do you think? I just show up to games?" It's like, no, we're doing 2-a-day practices and we're grinding it out and we're always in pain. So more power to you.
Very true.
Well, let's go into the details of how you got in contact with the team. You had an agent. What was it like when you first got to the city, and what was the city like?
Yeah, so I got my agent. Didn't know much about, how to find a good agent, how to find a bad agent. I just kind of guessed. I had a few to choose from, and I just kind of took one guy, and he ended up getting me the job. So I signed the contract in the summer 2016, and they flew me out to Madrid. Madrid, Spain is the capital of Spain and really big city. And Zamora was actually about an hour train ride outside of Madrid, I believe. And I got to Madrid with all my bags and stuff. The club wasn't there to pick me up in Madrid, actually. They had actually given me kind of like an itinerary that I needed to follow, how to navigate through the airport, find the train that I was supposed to get on, and take me to Zamora. Finally figured it out after some trouble for sure. That I was not expecting. But I landed
traveling overseas by yourself.
Yeah, first time, man. So as an American player, I'm sure you remember, you're like, whoa, this is a lot different than what I'm used to. Of course, the language barrier too, right?
Absolutely.
Talking to people, if you don't speak Spanish, it's hard to communicate. But I got to Zamora. Zamora is a pretty small city. I think it was about 160,000 people. It's close to Madrid, so you get some trickle in from people from Madrid and Zamora, but it's relatively small. But it was a good city because, man, the small atmosphere cities in Europe create a nice environment for sports, because there's just not much to do. So everyone kind of cares about the soccer, basketball, whatever other sports are going on. So it was a good city to be in.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's get into how the team treated you while you were there. You were there for the full, complete season. You're a rookie. You didn't know what to expect. Obviously, people explain to you, how was the play over there? They'll say, obviously the NBA has the best players, the best size, biggest players, and they can pull because they have the finances to do that. But if you were to say, take a mid-level team in the NBA and take a best college team, you're going to kind of blend those two together where you have intelligent basketball players, you have strong players, but there's a few different rules. If you watch the Olympics, it's pretty much the style of basketball play that you'll find.
Yeah, for sure. The style of basketball is definitely different than the States. I think the biggest thing is in the States, there's no one in the lane for a 3-second defensive call. So in the NBA, it's smart to play a lot of one-on-one because the help is not there. But in the Europe, the guys just kind of stand in the lane and wait for the guards to drive in. So that being said, they do a little more ball move the ball around a little more. And you have smart players over there. Of course, America is on another level, but I think year by year it's getting better and better in Europe, which actually hurts us financially because the European players are taking, the spot per se of another American player that might be more expensive or, harder to get overseas. But yeah.
So, what was the team like? What were the facilities like? What did they provide for you? What was the living situation? Those details.
Yeah, so the team, on my contract, it said, apartment, it said 2 meals a day, I think 2 meals a day, plus my salary, and you get health insurance and benefits like that. But yeah, it was weird, man. Like I didn't know what to expect or anything. I ended up living with 3 other guys, like in a big old kind of college style building. It was like, we shared a common area. It's kind of like college, and we all had our own room, me and 3 other guys. So that was interesting, man. Unfortunately, later in my career, now that I'm a little older, I figured out that you need to ask for your own apartment, or you need to negotiate that kind of stuff, So that was a little eye opener. I got there and the living conditions weren't great, the oven's not the best oven in the world, or the things in the apartment aren't the greatest, but it was okay for me. I didn't need much. And the team treated me pretty good, man. I mean, they provided practice jerseys. We practiced twice a day. They had a training staff. It was a little, of course, I'm sure you already know this, but the training science, I guess, per se, is a little lower than the level it would be in America.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a little bit.
Everything is just that cold can of spray. They spray it on everything. If you break a leg, you're going to spray some of that cold spray on it.
Hey man, they don't mind just using one thing fits all, type of thing. Whereas in America, it's a little more, I guess you could say high level. But I wasn't expecting that, so that was a little bit of an eye opener for me as well. But they provided with everything we needed to play basketball. So
awesome. So the facilities were nice. You practiced in the places where you played the games and stuff of that nature. And when teams came in, they stayed in a certain hotel.
Yep, we did. They provided that, and we had one gym practicing that gym. It was a little weird because there was a handball team too practicing in the same gym. So I don't know if you ever had that experience, but yeah, there's 2 or 3 teams practicing in the same facility. So that was interesting.
Nice. Okay, well let's wrap this thing up. And so your overall experience was something that you would tell another player if they reached out to you. You'd say, yeah, go play for this team, see how it goes. Good quality team. You didn't have any qualms with it. It was a great place to start or play a second or third year in the season.
Yeah, I'd say for a rookie, Spain and the place where I was at, CB Zamora in Spain, was a great place to start. I think it's a great place to get your foot in the door. Spain's a great country to kind of enter Europe in. So it was all good. Overall, I'd say my experience was really good. Of course, the main problem, there's with American players and other places having trouble because there's no safety net for us, no I guess players union type deal like you have in the NBA, where you can fall back on if you have problems and stuff. So, but I didn't have any problems with that my first year, so that was nice.
Awesome. No bumps in the road on the first trip over there. That's always a positive to get you go back over there and not be first year jaded straight out the gates. Well, let's talk about the financial situation with the team. Payments were on time. We discussed this earlier that you had a pretty smooth situation with them, even though it was a few days late, but it wasn't anything that hesitated you or had you thinking about sitting out of practice.
Yeah, nothing to that degree. When I was in Spain, it was we got all the money, which was good. They told us they'd give us X amount, they gave us X amount, so that was a good thing. Of course, there were a few times when it was late. With me being a young guy and not having a family or anything that I need to send money back to, and being a little bit naive, it didn't really bother me too much. But as you get later in your career, you'll start thinking, man, why are the paychecks late? That's not okay. But yeah, it was overall smooth my first year, which was nice.
Awesome. So overall, and wrap up this interview, just wanted to see what would you things that maybe to watch out for, what to expect for a player if they were looking to sign a contract with them. What kind of last tidbit of information would you give them to go off of?
Yeah, let's see. I'd say some good advice would be as far as your contract, negotiating everything. It's not only the salary that you want to negotiate. You're going to be having an apartment, or house, a living situation. Are you going to be living alone, or what's the house look like? The food that you'll be getting, where's the food coming from? Because the teams provide meals. But if you just say yes to everything that they propose to you, it's tough to come back. So I'd say really watch out for those little things. And then, of course, just realizing that there's no players union in Europe, man. There's no safety net. If you get injured or if the team thinks you're not fitting in real well, they'll do what it takes to get rid of you, without financial loss to them. And just be ready for that type of, that type of deal over there.
Yep. Awesome. Is there any way that anybody that's looking to sign a contract with Zamora that they can get in contact with you and just hold a conversation? You guys can have a little bit more in-depth conversation. How would people reach out to you?
Yeah, if they were interested in doing that, I could definitely be the bridge to connect. And I'd say the best way is social media. I'm on social media like Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is Will Perry 0, and my Facebook is, Will Perry. So I say reach out to me on there.
Awesome. Will, thank you for having this conversation, and hopefully you leave some breadcrumbs for the future players playing in European basketball.
Yeah, sounds good to me, and thanks for calling.
Outstanding. Talk to you in a second.
All right, see you.